The ATM receipt printed slowly. Balance: £1,247.83. I folded it twice and put it in my wallet next to the previous one from 3 days ago that showed £1,683.19. 18 months earlier, that same account held £287,000. I didn't lose it to bad investments. I didn't gamble it away. I gave it to someone who said she loved me, and I believed her because I wanted rescuing more than I wanted the truth. My name's Colin. I'm 72. I taught secondary school mathematics in Leeds for 41 years. I retired at 65 with a teacher's pension of £22,400 annually and a lump sum payout of £168,000. I'd also inherited £119,000 from my mother's estate 3 years before retirement. Total, £287,000 liquid plus the pension. I wasn't rich, but I'd calculated that in Thailand, living modestly, I could stretch that money for 25 years and still have something left over for care if I needed it. The plan was solid. The execution was not. I moved to Chiang Mai in October, 2 months after my 68th birthday. I chose Chiang Mai because it wasn't Bangkok. It felt quieter. It felt safer. I rented a small house in the Nimmenheeman area for 11,000 baht a month, close enough to cafes and expat meetups, but far enough from the backpacker chaos near the old city. I told myself I was starting over. My wife had died 4 years earlier. Breast cancer. We'd been married 37 years. After she passed, I realised I'd spent most of my adult life preparing lessons, marking exams, and coming home to the same routine. I wanted something different. I wanted warmth. I wanted simplicity. I wanted to feel needed again. Even the first week in Chiang Mai, I met a man named Roger at a coffee shop near Maya Mall. He'd been living there for 6 years. He was 63, formerly an accountant from Manchester. He told me the key to surviving Thailand long-term was avoiding Thai women entirely. He said, "They'll gut you, Colin. Every single one. Doesn't matter if she's educated, employed, or from a good family. The moment you show weakness, they'll take everything." I thanked him for the advice. Then I ignored it completely. I didn't want to be cynical. I didn't want to be one of those bitter expats sitting in bars complaining about women and Thailand and how everything was a scam. I wanted to believe that good people existed everywhere and that if you approached relationships with honesty and respect, you'd get the same in return. I was wrong. Yeah, but I needed to learn that myself. 3 weeks after settling in, I joined a language exchange group that met every Tuesday evening at a co-working space near Nimmenheeman. Most attendees were young Thai university students practicing English. One of them, a girl named Rung, worked part-time at a pharmacy. She was 24. She asked if I'd like private conversation lessons for 300 baht an hour. I said yes. After the 3rd lesson, she asked if I could lend her 8,000 baht for her grandmother's medication. I said I'd think about it. I never booked another lesson. That interaction clarified something. I needed criteria. I needed a framework. I decided I'd only date women over 30 who had stable jobs and no immediate family financial crises. I thought age and employment would filter out desperation. I spent the next 4 months settling into a routine. I woke early. I walked to a local market and bought fruit. I read books. I attended a few expat social events, but found them depressing. Most of the men were either drowning in whiskey or drowning in young girlfriends they'd clearly paid for. I didn't want either. I wanted a partner. I wanted someone who saw me as more than a pension with a pulse. I tried online dating. I signed up for ThaiCupid. I created a profile. I was honest about my age and my situation. I received 43 messages in the first week. 41 were from women under 28. Most had profile pictures in bikinis. Most had bios that said they loved older foreign men because they were kind and took care of family. I disqualified all of them. One message stood out. It was from a woman named Pensri. She was 34. Her profile said she worked as a teacher at a government school in Sangkamphaeng, a district east of Chiang Mai. She didn't ask for money. She didn't mention her family. She asked what I liked to read. We exchanged messages for 2 weeks before meeting. Our first date was at a small vegetarian restaurant near Tha Pei Gate. She arrived on time. She paid for her own meal before I could offer. She talked about her students, her frustration with low government salaries, and her goal to eventually open a tutoring centre. She earned 18,500 baht a month, which she said was standard for public school teachers in Chiang Mai. She lived with her parents in Sangkamphaeng and contributed 5,000 baht monthly to household expenses. She seemed grounded. She seemed real. We dated for 3 months before anything became physical. She initiated it. We'd gone to Doi Suthep for the day. On the drive back, she reached over and held my hand. That night, she stayed at my place. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't hint at needing help. She just stayed. A month later, she mentioned her lease was ending. She didn't ask to move in. She said she was looking at apartments closer to the city so her commute would be shorter. I suggested she move in with me. I said it would save her rent money and we'd get to spend more time together. She hesitated. Then she agreed, but she insisted on contributing 4,000 baht a month toward utilities and food. I thought that was fair. She moved in during the rainy season. For 6 months, she transferred 4,000 baht every month like clockwork. She cooked. She cleaned. She corrected my terrible Thai pronunciation. She laughed at my jokes. I felt wanted. I felt useful. I hadn't felt that way since my wife died. One evening, about 8 months after she moved in, we were sitting on the balcony. She mentioned her parents' house needed a new roof. She said the old one leaked badly during heavy rain, and her father, who was 71 and had a bad back, couldn't fix it himself. She said it would cost about 85,000 baht to replace properly. She wasn't asking. She was just stating a fact. I asked if she needed help. She said no, she'd figure it out. 2 days later, I transferred 85,000 baht into her account. She cried. She said no one had ever done something like that for her. She said her ex-boyfriend, a Thai man she'd dated for 5 years, had refused to help her family even once. She said I was different. She said she loved me. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. A month after that, her brother's motorcycle broke down. He needed it for work. The repair cost 11,300 baht. I paid for it. 3 weeks later, her mother needed cataract surgery. It cost 37,600 baht. I paid for that too. I told myself I was helping the family of the woman I loved. I told myself this was what good partners did. Pensri proposed marriage. She said she wanted to make it official. She said her parents wanted to see her settled before they got too old. I was surprised, but flattered. I'd been married once for 37 years. I knew what marriage required. I thought I knew what I was getting into. We married in a small ceremony at her parents' house. About 60 people attended, mostly her extended family. I paid for the food and the hire of tables and chairs, about 47,000 baht total. There was no sin-sod demand, which surprised me. Her father said it wasn't necessary because I was already taking care of Pensri. 2 months after the wedding, Pensri said she wanted to open the tutoring centre she'd always talked about. She said she'd found a small commercial space near her old school. Rent was 14,000 baht a month. She needed 95,000 baht for the deposit, furniture, whiteboards and marketing materials. She said if I could lend her the money, she'd pay me back once the centre became profitable. I asked how long that would take. She said probably a year. I transferred 95,000 baht. The tutoring centre opened 3 months later. For the first few months, Pensri said it was doing okay. She said she had 11 students, then 15, then 23. She said the income was growing but still wasn't enough to pay me back yet. I said that was fine. I trusted her. 6 months after the tutoring centre opened, she said her parents wanted to buy a small plot of land in their village to grow vegetables and maybe build a retirement house eventually. The land cost 112,000 baht. She asked if I'd be willing to help. She said her parents were getting old and this was their dream. I said yes. I transferred 112,000 baht. A month later, her younger sister's husband left her. The sister had 2 children. Pensri said her sister needed help with rent and school fees until she could get back on her feet. I sent 8,500 baht a month for 4 months. Then it became 6 months. Then it became 8. I started to feel uneasy, not because I regretted helping, but because I realised I'd been helping for over a year and nothing had been repaid. The tutoring centre, according to Pensri, was still just breaking even. I asked to see the books. She said the accountant had them. I asked when I could meet the accountant. She said soon. 14 months into the marriage, I calculated I'd transferred approximately 187,000 baht to Pensri for her family, her business, and various emergencies. That was in addition to covering all our living expenses, which ran about 28,000 baht a month. I was spending roughly 35,000 baht a month total. My pension converted to about 65,000 baht monthly. I was burning through savings at 15,000 to 20,000 baht a month, depending on unexpected costs. I told Pensri we needed to slow down. I told her I couldn't keep funding her family's problems indefinitely. I told her I needed her to start contributing again like she had when she first moved in. She cried. She said she thought I loved her family. She said she thought I wanted to help. She said, "In Thailand, when you marry someone, you marry their family. Don't you understand that?" I said I understood, but I also needed to protect my own future. She said I was being selfish. She said her family had welcomed me. She said they treated me like one of their own. She asked how I could turn my back on them now. I didn't know how to respond. I felt guilty. I felt like maybe I was being selfish. Maybe this was cultural. Maybe I was imposing Western expectations on a Thai relationship. I agreed to keep helping, but I said it had to be for genuine emergencies only. 3 weeks later, her father's truck broke down. Repair, 18,700 baht. I paid. A month after that, her nephew needed money for university tuition. 22,400 baht. I paid. Another month later, her mother needed dental work. 13,200 baht. I paid. I ran the numbers one night while Pensri was asleep. In 18 months, I'd transferred or spent approximately 267,000 baht on her family and business. I'd burned through nearly all my inheritance and a significant portion of my retirement lump sum. My liquid savings had dropped from £287,000 to roughly £83,000. I was terrified. I told Pensri I couldn't do it anymore. I told her we needed to stop. I told her I'd helped as much as I could, but I had to think about my own survival now. She said, "What about the tutoring centre? You said you believed in me." I said I did believe in her, but I needed to see some return. She said the centre was doing well now and she'd start paying me back soon. I asked how much she was making. She said about 35,000 baht a month in revenue. I asked how much profit. She didn't answer. I went to the tutoring centre unannounced one afternoon. It was closed. The sign was still up, but the door was locked and the lights were off. I asked the shop owner next door when it had closed. He said about 3 months ago. He said the teacher, Pensri, had stopped coming. I confronted her that night. I asked why the centre was closed. She said it wasn't closed, it was just temporarily on hold because she'd been sick. I said the neighbour told me it had been shut for 3 months. She said the neighbour was mistaken. I asked to see the financial records. She said she didn't have them anymore. I asked where the 95,000 baht had gone. She said it went into the business. I asked what happened to the furniture, the whiteboards, the equipment. She said she sold it. I asked how much. She said 18,000 baht. I asked where that money was. She said she used it to help her sister. I asked about the land her parents supposedly bought. She said they bought it. I asked to see the title deed. She said it was at her parents' house. I drove to Sangkamphaing the next day. I asked her father to show me the land documents. He looked confused. He said they hadn't bought any land. He said Pensri had told them I'd given her money for the tutoring centre, not for land. I went back to Chiang Mai. I asked Pensri directly, where did the 267,000 baht go? She said she used it to help her family and to try to build a future for us. I said the tutoring centre was closed and the land didn't exist. She said I was calling her a liar. I said I was asking for the truth. She said, "You gave me that money because you loved me. You can't ask for it back now." I said I wanted a divorce. She said fine. She said I could keep the house I was renting and my pension. She'd keep everything she'd saved. I asked what she'd saved. She said that was her business. I moved out the next week. I rented a small studio apartment near the airport for 6,500 baht a month. I had £79,000 left in my UK account. I had my pension. I had nothing else. I thought about going back to England. I thought about my old street in Leeds, the pub I used to go to, the colleagues I'd lost touch with. But I couldn't face it. I couldn't admit I'd been hollowed out by someone I thought loved me. I stayed in Chiang Mai. I lived carefully. I stopped dating. I stopped trusting. A year later, I met a woman at a bookshop. She was 41. She worked in hospital administration. She earned 32,000 baht a month. She seemed stable. We dated for 5 months. Then her father got sick. She asked if I could help with medical bills. I said no. She asked why. I told her what happened with Pensri. She said she wasn't Pensri. She said she'd pay me back. I said I couldn't take that risk. She said I clearly had trust issues. She was right. We stopped seeing each other. I'm 74 now. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Hangdong. My rent is 7,800 baht a month. My total expenses run about £1,670 monthly. My pension covers it. I don't save anymore. I just survive. I've learned that there are 2 kinds of foreign men who make it long-term in Thailand without losing everything. The first kind never financially integrates with a Thai partner's family. They help occasionally, but they keep hard boundaries. The second kind accepts they're going to be drained and makes peace with it before it starts. Everyone else, men like me, are men who want to rescue someone, men who confuse being needed with being loved. We're just ATMs with feelings. I thought love meant sacrifice. It does, but sacrifice doesn't mean self-destruction. I gave away 40 years of savings in 18 months because I was lonely and someone made me feel necessary. That wasn't love. That was exploitation disguised as gratitude. If you're thinking about moving to Thailand to start over, ask yourself this. Are you running towards something, or are you running away from loneliness? I was running from loneliness, and loneliness is expensive. Next time, I'll tell you about the man who thought teaching English would make him safe. It didn't, and the visa he depended on became the weapon she used. After Pensri left, I spent a lot of time thinking about the specific moments I should have noticed. The first time she cried when I gave her money, I thought it was gratitude. Now I realise it was performance. The way she'd mention a problem but never directly ask for help, that was strategy. She knew I'd offer. She knew I needed to feel like the solution. Her family played their part perfectly too. Her father always thanked me profusely, but he never questioned why a retired teacher was funding his entire household. Her mother cooked for me when I visited, but she never once suggested Pensri should contribute financially to our relationship. They treated me well because I was useful, not because I was family. The tutoring centre was the smartest move. It gave her a legitimate reason to ask for a large sum all at once. It gave her a business narrative. It made me feel like I was investing in our future, not just handing over cash. And when it closed, she had a built-in excuse. Businesses fail. She knew I'd feel bad pressing her for details. She knew I'd accept the loss because I loved her. What she didn't count on was me checking. Most foreign men don't. Most men in my position, especially at my age, are too embarrassed to admit they've been taken. They'd rather keep quiet and lose the money than face the humiliation of confronting the truth. I asked Roger, the accountant I'd met in my first week, what he thought after I told him everything. He said, "I told you, Colin. I told you the first week." He wasn't smug about it. He was sad. He'd seen it dozens of times. He said the women weren't evil. They were just surviving in a system where foreign men were seen as resources. He said the mistake wasn't trusting her. The mistake was thinking she saw me the way I saw her. And I asked him if he thought she ever loved me. He said probably not in the way I understood love. He said she probably appreciated me. She probably liked me. But the moment I became a financial resource, everything else became secondary. I think about my late wife sometimes. We argued about money occasionally, but we always knew where we stood. We had joint accounts. We made decisions together. There was transparency. With Pensri, I never saw her bank statements. I never knew what she earned from the tutoring centre when it was operational. I never asked because I didn't want to seem controlling. That was a mistake. Transparency isn't control, it's partnership. The divorce was quick. Under Thai law, if both parties agree, it can be done in a single day at the district office. We went together. We signed the papers. It cost 40 baht for the administrative fee. 18 months of my life, 267,000 baht of my savings, and it ended with a 40 baht receipt. I don't hate her. I'm angry, but I don't hate her. She saw an opportunity and she took it. I made it easy. I wanted so badly to be necessary again that I ignored every warning sign. Roger warned me. The first girl, Rung, showed me the pattern. I saw it and I chose to believe I was different. That's the real trap. Not the women, not Thailand. The trap is believing you're the exception. I still live in Chiang Mai. I still walk to the same markets. I still see foreign men my age with young Thai girlfriends. I see them at restaurants. The man paying while she's on her phone. I see them at malls, the man carrying shopping bags while she walks ahead. I see them at immigration offices, at the man waiting in line while she sits in the air-conditioned waiting area. Some of those relationships might be real. Some of those women might genuinely care. But I'd bet money most of them are variations of what happened to me. Different details, same structure. The ones who survive are the ones who never forget they're foreigners in someone else's country, operating under someone else's rules, with someone else's family waiting in the background. The ones who lose everything are the ones like me, who thought love erased all of that. It doesn't.